Maria Tallchief's rise to become America's first prima ballerina is a story steeped in the struggle and triumph of both a woman and her people. Her people, the Osage, endured forced relocations and were embroiled in conflicts over their valuable oil-rich land, which brought both fortune and misfortune. This backdrop of adversity framed Maria's early life, where she was both blessed by her heritage and burdened by the world's prejudices against it. As a child, to an alcoholic father and a subject of cruel taunts at school because of her name, Maria's passion for dance was a beacon of hope and an act of defiance, where she would dance for hours, her shoes worn and her feet bleeding, all to achieve her dream of dancing on stage. Through relentless dedication, Maria broke through these barriers. Her journey was not just about personal achievement, but also a broader cultural assertion. Each pirouette and leap on stage was a testament to her resilience and a tribute to her roots. She carried the weight of both her American and Osage heritage proudly, transforming the prejudices and obstacles into stepping stones towards her ascent in the ballet world, a world dominated by Russians. Maria's triumph as America's first prima ballerina was a landmark moment, not only in the history of dance, but also in the narrative of Native American resilience. It was a victory that echoed beyond the theaters and into the hearts of her people, offering a story of hope and affirmation. Maria Tallchief became a legend, not only for her extraordinary talent, but also as a symbol of enduring strength and grace in the face of adversity, inspiring generations to come. Join us this week as we look at the story of Maria Tallchief, America's first prima ballerina. In the sweeping landscapes of Fairfax, Oklahoma, within the storied borders of the Osage Nation, Elizabeth Marie Tallchief first breathed the prairie air on January 24, 1925. Named Betty Marie in honor of both her grandmothers, she was a child of contrasting ancestries, her father a proud Osage and her mother of Scotch-Irish descent. Betty Marie's early life was marked by a poignant juxtaposition of cultural heritage and the harsh realities of economic prosperity due to oil beneath their land, a boon that brought both immense wealth and unspeakable woes to her people. The Tallchief family resided in a sturdy red brick house that overlooked the vast Osage reservation, where Betty Marie and her siblings, an older brother Jerry and a younger sister Marjorie, roamed freely. By the tender age of 2, Betty Marie had already begun to feel the deep ties to her land. She spent summers hunting through the high grass for arrowheads, each find sending shivers of connection down her spine, whispering stories of a past stretched across the plains. Despite the government's efforts to confine and redefine them, from hunters to forced farmers on meager land, the Osage's destiny took a dramatic turn with the discovery of oil. Suddenly, they were among the wealthiest Native Americans, living in a paradoxical world where the hum of metal derricks stood stark against the memory of buffalo herds. Her father, not originally wealthy, but certainly well-to-do from managing a movie theater and a pool hall, exemplified the complexities of this new prosperity. The oil checks that funded their comfortable existence also fueled his destructive binges. When the money flowed, he vanished into days of drinking, leaving behind a household trembling with the tension of his return. His tempestuous relationship with alcohol painted their home with strokes of fear and frustration. He got mean when he drank, Maria later recalled. The walls seemed to fill with the thunder of his fury. Betty Marie's mother, caught in the storm, would plead with him, decrying the waste of their children's future on drink. "I idolized him," she wrote in her autobiography. "But while we were growing up, he was often unbearable." Amidst this tumult, Betty Marie found solace and expression in the arts. Mesmerized by the rhythm and grace of Osage powwows, where women danced in sync with the heartbeat of kettle drums, she journeyed through time, embracing a heritage rich with storytelling and spirit. "The powwow was a journey to the past," she said, a reflection of the deep cultural immersion that shaped her childhood. Ruth Tallchief, envisioning a different future for her daughters, steered them towards ballet. By the age of 3, Betty Marie, along with Marjorie, her closest confidant and comrade in countless childhood adventures, attended her first ballet lesson. Their mother, ever resourceful, sewed their dance costumes and bought satin toe shoes oversized to last through growth spurts, stuffing the toes with cotton for a snug fit. The sisters shared a natural affinity for music and performance, a talent they showcased at their father's theater or local county fairs, where Maria's perfect pitch and intuitive grasp of melody enchanted audiences just as the prairie had enchanted her. Amid the rich but challenging backdrop of the Osage Nation, Ruth Tallchief harbored aspirations that transcended the confines of the reservation for her daughters. Believing that their true potential would never be realized if they remained there, she persuaded her husband to move the family to Los Angeles in 1933, when Maria was just 8 years old. The move marked the beginning of a new chapter, filled with the promise of opportunity and the pursuit of greatness. In Los Angeles, the Tallchief sisters were quickly enrolled in ballet classes under the attentive guidance of Ernest Belcher. Maria was initially teased at the new school for her heritage. Questions about living in teepees and the number of scalps her father had allegedly taken found refuge and joy in the disciplined environment of her ballet classes. At the age of 12, Maria encountered Madame Bronislava Nijinsky, who would become a pivotal figure in her life. Nijinsky was not only demanding and meticulous, but also recognized Maria's innate talent immediately. "When you sleep like a ballerina," Madame Nijinsky instructed. "Even on the street waiting for a bus, stand like a ballerina." This rigorous training instilled in Maria a profound dedication to her craft. Although she faced initial disappointments, such as not being cast in the lead role for one of the 3 ballets staged by Madame Nijinsky when she was 15, these setbacks only fueled her determination. Upon graduating from high school in 1942, her father insisted it was time for her to earn a living. Her first paid role came in the film Presenting Lily Mars with Judy Garland, where she performed simply as a dancer. Encouraged by her mother Ruth, Maria traveled alone to New York in 1942 to audition for the Ballet Russe. Amidst the chaos of a wartime America, her initial rejection at the Ballet Russe headquarters left her devastated. After leaving her contact information with a dismissive secretary, Maria stepped outside to cry. Yet, fate intervened 3 days later when Mr. Denham, the head of Ballet Russe, recalled her potential from a visit to Madame Nijinsky's class. An illness within the troupe opened a spot, and he decided to hire Maria for an upcoming tour. The early days with Ballet Russe were grueling. Travel was cramped. Maria often slept on the floor, and the dancers had to pay for their accommodations out of their modest salaries. Despite the hardships, including scant meals that led to weight loss and scoldings from Mr. Denham to take better care of herself, Maria's commitment never wavered. "Maria, you must eat," Mr. Denham would urge, yet she often locked away the small sums of money her mother sent, choosing to focus on the relentless rehearsal schedule instead. Maria Tallchief's indomitable spirit and relentless pursuit of excellence inevitably caught the attention of George Balanchine, one of the world's most revered choreographers. Their partnership transcended the professional. They married in 1946, intertwining their lives both on and off the stage. "I was his wife, but I also was his ballerina," Maria later reflected. "He was my husband, but he was also my choreographer. He was a poet and I was his muse." Her parents, not liking the 20-year age gap, were against the union and refused to attend the wedding. This symbiotic relationship propelled Maria into groundbreaking roles and took her across the world, including Paris, where she became the first American to dance with the Paris Opera Ballet. In Paris, the company was due to perform Apollo, and the lead role was meant to be played by the renowned Tamara Timonova. But a few weeks before the opening, she fell ill, and Maria was given the lead. Tamara was a star, and the notoriously fickle Paris crowd had never heard of this young American with the strange and certainly not Russian-sounding name. It would be the first time an American ballerina would dance in the Paris Opera House. The King and Queen of Sweden were in attendance, along with many other luminaries, and Maria was beside herself with fear. George calmed her down. "This is what you were born to do, my dear." The show ended to rapturous applause, and the Parisians adored her. The headlines the next day said, "Red skin amazes at the Opera House." She knew to the Parisians of the day, red skin was not meant as a slur. She was simply an oddity to them. But the praise for her dancing filled her with joy and gave her confidence that she could lead a ballet. Balanchine's influence on Maria's career was profound. casting her in increasingly challenging and visually stunning roles. Each performance she gave under his direction not only showcased her exceptional talent, but also solidified her status as a pivotal figure in ballet. Their collaboration was a spectacle of creativity and innovation, capturing the attention of audiences and critics alike. In 1949, the pinnacle of their artistic collaboration came with Balanchine's revival of the Firebird for the newly founded New York City Ballet. Composed by Igor Stravinsky and adorned with sets designed by Marc Chagall, the ballet was a vibrant and passionate masterpiece. Maria's portrayal of the title role was nothing short of electrifying. She embodied the mystical and fiery spirit of the Firebird, captivating everyone who watched her soar across the stage. Jordan Levin, a dance critic, encapsulated the public's fascination, remarking, "Everybody had to go see this amazing, gorgeous creature." Her performance was met with critical acclaim and public adoration, sparking comments like, "Maria Tallchief merits the style of Prima Ballerina absoluta," as noted by a critic in The Guardian. This title, reserved for the most distinguished female dancers, was a testament to her unparalleled skill and presence. The night of her performance in The Firebird, Maria took multiple curtain calls, each one met with louder applause and shouts of her name echoing through the theater. "Tallchief, Tallchief, Tallchief," they roared, Meng. This moment was not just a personal triumph, but a cultural milestone, marking her as one of ballet's most illustrious and transformative figures. Her journey from the Osage Nation to the pinnacle of the ballet world reflected not just her personal achievements, but also her role as a bridge between cultures and epochs in the art of dance. She had become America's first prima ballerina. Even as the work of Tallchief and Balanchine was praised, the spark of their personal bond dimmed, and they divorced in 1951. Yet the professional alliance endured, crafting ballets that resonated across the ballet world. Amidst the fading echoes of one love, Tallchief found brief solace in the arms of Elmorza Naderbov, a dashing airplane pilot whose jealousy of her demanding career echoed the turbulent passions of her performances. Reflecting on her mother's own trials, Maria decisively ended their stormy marriage, reclaiming her independence. In 1953, upon her return to the reservation, Maria was embraced as a returning hero, an emblem of cultural pride and artistic achievement. That year marked the apex of her global acclaim. She graced television screens, met President Eisenhower, and was heralded as America's Woman of the Year. Yet it was the quiet understanding in the eyes of Henry Passion that captured her heart anew, leading to a marriage in 1956 and the birth of their daughter, Elise, a beacon of new beginnings. Tragedy, however, cast long shadows over her joys. The passing of her father and grandmother in 1959 marked a period of profound grief that seeped into her soul. Dance became her refuge, her way of weaving sorrow into the fabric of beauty. A poignant chapter unfolded as she prepared to perform for Native American children on television. A performance meant to bridge worlds, only to find the audience absent, held back by fears of cultural erosion. This revelation struck a chord of deep sadness in Tallchief, a reminder of the delicate dance between heritage and acceptance. Approaching the twilight of her illustrious career at 41, Maria reflected on the legacy she wished to leave. Inspired by the young dancers who mirrored her own early aspirations, she decided to devote herself to teaching, a tribute to those who had guided her. After a final, luminous performance in Venezuela, she returned to Chicago, founding the Chicago City Ballet with her sister Marjorie and dedicating herself to the next generation. Her later years were adorned with accolades, a Kennedy Center honor, induction into the National Women's Hall of Fame, testaments to a life rich in artistic contribution. Even as she stepped away from the spotlight, Maria's legacy continued to inspire, immortalized in 2023 on an American Women Quarter, capturing her iconic leap as the Firebird, a symbol of her enduring spirit and cultural duality. Maria Tallchief passed away in 2013, yet her legacy pirouettes forever in the annals of ballet history, a continual inspiration, a bridge between the rich heritage of her Osage roots and the exquisite poise of ballet. Her life, a symphony of resilience, grace, and indomitable will, continues to resonate, a perpetual dance of strength and elegance. In the resplendent realms of dance and cultural heritage, Maria Tallchief emerged as a luminous beacon, casting a long shadow of grace and fortitude that transcended the stages she adorned. Born amidst the windswept beauty of the Osage Nation, her life was a poetic testament to the fusion of indomitable spirit and profound artistry. Maria not only ascended to the zenith of ballet royalty, but also carved a path that bridged disparate worlds, melding her rich Native American heritage with the ethereal realm of ballet. As the final notes of Maria Tallchief's life softly fade, the echoes of her dance linger in the hush of a rapt audience. Hers was a performance etched in the annals of ballet and the tapestry of cultural history, a dance that transcended the stages of the world to touch the soul of a nation. With each pirouette and plie, she wove her Osage heritage into the fabric of classical ballet, dancing on the delicate threads that connect tradition with innovation. Maria's life, a ballet of resilience and grace, was a poignant adagio performed under the spotlight of scrutiny and fame, moving to a rhythm that resonated with the beats of her ancestral drums. In the quiet theaters of our minds, her legacy dances on, a silhouette against the backdrop of history, a reminder that art is both an expression and a force, capable of challenging, changing, and elevating the human spirit. In the silent moments after the curtain falls, we find Maria's spirit still poised in a perfect arabesque, her story a continuous flow of inspiration that teaches us the beauty of rising after a fall and the strength required to hold the stage alone. Her dance, a legacy of light and shadow, continues to instruct and inspire, ensuring that the stage she once graced remains lit with the promise of future pirouettes, spun from the dreams of those who follow in her delicate yet determined footsteps. Maria's story is one of resilience, of a phoenix rising not just on the stage but in life. I hope you enjoyed this week's story on Maria Tallchief. As a small channel, your likes, comments, and subscriptions really help keep the channel going and allow us to tell the stories of these remarkable women. I love you and deeply appreciate the support you give on this journey, and please stay safe. Until next time, thanks for watching.